So let's take a look at my 50th video. So just a quick disclaimer before I start the video. This video will have nothing to do, or at most very little to do, with math. So if you don't want to watch something that is not math related, then please don't watch this video. So since this is my 50th video, I just want to do something more entertaining and just show how I as a student view my current Calculus 2 class. So before we start, one more disclaimer. Any joke I make in this video is not meant to be disrespectful, so if any of my classmates are watching this, please don't take this personally. So now with everything out of the way, let's take a look at my Calculus 2 class. So starting off with the layout of the class, we have a door here on the side. So this is the main entrance. And then we got a projector screen on the front of the class. Right here alongside a whiteboard, and there's also a whiteboard back here. And so on the left hand corner, or the top left, we have the teacher's desk, and I'm not going to name any real names here, but this is just going to be the teacher's desk, and I'm going to call him the teacher. I'm going to label that T. So now onto the students' desks. We have a corner here. So I'm just gonna, our desks are more like a triangle, so I'm just gonna use triangles here. So after spacing out some of the desks, this is basically what the layout of the class looks like. So now onto the students. And so I'm gonna start by actually crossing off some of these desks, because even though there are people or students that occupy these desks, they don't really contribute to the overall class IQ. So I'm gonna cross these off. So now that I've eliminated basically over half the students here, let's actually take a look at the goofy people in this class. So I actually have a pretty good view of this class because I sit in the very back right. So the calculus gods is right there, TCG. Now here to my right, once again, I'm not going to name any names, but I'm just going to abbreviate him as BW. And unfortunately, this man cannot go a day without saying your mom. So this is very unfortunate. Now the man on his left, his name is JC. And I have almost no complaints about this guy, other than the fact that he posts the most awkward photos on the group chat every single day. And then there's LP here, that has the guts to sleep in the middle of a test, which is kind of funny, but he increases the IQ a lot though, which is good. And then finally, on his right, there is MPMP. And yes, that is actually his initials. And yes, this man is the worst car parker in the entire school. So yeah, one day I'll see his car tilted to the left in the parking space, the other day tilted to the right. And yesterday, if I were to show you a diagram, if this was the parking space, his car was completely perpendicular to the parking space. And yeah, this is the worst parking I've ever seen in my life. And then the man who sits here, he goes by the initials of SR. And I have no problem with this man, other than the fact that he doesn't care about senior year. And so that's a severe IQ decrease right there. Then this man here, yeah, I don't even know what his initials are, but I'm just going to call him the Beast. Because this man's name rhymes with baboon, but he is an absolute beast, no matter what. And the man in the corner left, the back corner left, goes by the initials of RB. And yeah, this man is probably the third biggest contributor to the IQ, solely because he eats his calculator. Now I don't even know what this guy's initials are, so I'm just gonna color this seat here. This man dresses up like an absolute gangster boss every day, and that's an extreme IQ increase, so yeah, props to that man. So now onto the last table. So if this group, excluding me, is really where the majority of the class IQ is, which is a good thing, even though I said kind of goofy things about these guys, this table group is basically the highest IQ in the class. This table group is by far the lowest IQ. And yeah, they're the two biggest contributors here for the low IQ. So the guy who sits on the left here, his initials are JD. And to be honest, I don't even know why he's in this class, because he studies for every single class that he has except for Calculus 2, which is the highest, well, actually the lowest IQ I've seen in a while. And then there's the final guy here. Let's call him AJ, that's his initials. And yes, this man is so goofy that he pulls up to class 30 minutes late, that he pretends like he knows what's going on, but in fact he actually needs some milk. So yeah, if I were to draw an IQ versus time graph here, so on the y-axis we got the IQ from 0 to 150, and then we got the time from 0 to the end of class. So on a normal class day, the IQ starts at around 125. Start right there. And then right when JD starts complaining, the IQ drops here. So this is because of JD. And then it's steady for a while until SR starts to stay his senior year. And that's when the IQ starts going like this, because we don't know what he's talking about, and if he's just being funny or what. Yeah, that's because of SR. And then it's steady for a while. And then it's around this time where JC and BW start posting random things on the group chat and saying your mom, so that's around the 50 there. We got JC and BW. And then it's steady once again after a while until RB starts eating his calculator, and yeah, that now it's 25. So that's because of RB. And yeah, just when you think it can't get any worse, AJ pulls up about near the end of class, and here we are now with our IQ at negative infinity. So yeah, hopefully you found this somewhat interesting. And yes, I promise I will get back to making math videos from now on.